We are live, man. We are live. What's going on, bro?
Oh man, nothing much, man. Just cooling,
Hmm.
just enjoying the cool weather. I'm usually a hot weather kind of person,
Hmm.
but this year I was like, hell with this, hell with this goddamn hot weather. Give me some cool weather.
Yeah, yeah. I'm kind of nervous, man, because I'm like, man, it's starting to cool off already, man. You know, like that winter might be cold, bro.
Ooh yeah, boy. Better get ready.
I know, because I was like, man, I was telling the folk at work, and I was like, man, it didn't cool out. It didn't, normally since we've been here, it hasn't cooled down, really cooled down until like, October, end of October or something.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
like, it's cool that night already. Ooh, man, it's gonna be cold.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna
eh,
be cold, man.
yeah.
Yeah,
But we'll see. You know, we
yeah.
need a cold weather anyway. Get rid of some of these insects and
Yeah,
all that other stuff.
yeah, yeah. We're gonna go ahead and get into it, man. It's late, so we're gonna go ahead and get into it. About the presidential debate. Um, you know, um, it was crazy seeing the old man up there rambling. You know what I mean? Kamala, did her thing. You know what I'm saying? There were some things, um, I think she did good by not or just by just attacking the questions rather than trying to answer the question straight on, because Trump, being the liar that he is, you know what I'm saying, a malignant liar that he is, he wasn't going to answer the questions anyway. So I think she did good. Of course, she has some stuff in there where she didn't fully give context to, but but she did good. But one of the things me and you talked about was like how how Trump is sticking to the conspiracy
Yeah.
theories. You know what I'm saying? Of course, bringing up the Springfield, Ohio. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Bringing up the pulling out, bringing up Ukraine, pulling out Ukraine or supporting Russia,
Mhm.
and other stuff that he was just talking about, man. And I found it interesting. I think that, you know, what people don't understand is that Trump is already capped out at his votes, right? So
Yeah.
whenever they do internal polling or anything like that, they see he's capped out. You know what I mean? So they got to try to pull from some of those 100 million people who are not going to vote, right? For every election, right? So he wasn't really trying to, because he was mainly lying, but he wasn't really trying to talk about policy. He was trying to really talk to those conspiracy theories and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because every aggregate poll that is being pulled, um, there's a few things that's happening. Um, One, they started to realize that these polls were not um, actually talking to actual voters. They was actually polling the people that they wanted to poll.
Right.
So they were real selective on who they were polling.
Hmm.
Which wasn't a reflection of a poll.
Hmm.
That's one thing they're starting to find out, and then two, they also was leaving out of the polls um, people from the age of 25 and young.
Hmm.
So all most of the polls that was happening was from individuals that was in their late 30s and up.
Hmm.
Uh, that like man, they've been talking about these polls, but like now since they are trying to get real polls because they have been getting criticized for it, the numbers are reflecting a 8 point difference in the numbers. And I'm like,
Hmm.
yeah, that 8 point difference was probably always there.
Always there. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. It was probably always there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And also they were taking basically polls with people that either one never voted in an election
Hmm.
or only voted one time in their life.
Yeah.
So again, these are not people that if you want a serious poll, you no pollster would ever by practice poll these people because they're not serious voters.
Mhm.
So that's some of the things that really stuck out. Um, but outside of that, with the whole debate, um, I really think Kamala Harris did a really good job.
Yeah.
And I understood what she was trying to do, even when
Mm.
she didn't answer the question directly.
Right.
She also had to tactically get Trump to start focusing on things that had basically just waste his time.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he is uh a
He's an egomaniac.
person who can't stay
Egomaniac.
focused.
Mhm.
Yeah, he just can't stay focused.
Mm.
So if you can get him to just waste his time, you got 2 minutes. So if you
Yeah.
can waste your time, whether that's 40 seconds or 60 seconds, talking about dogs, cats, people eating dogs and cats,
Mean dog.
and those things, you have lost the time that you could have focused on spelling out even a little bit of even if it wasn't a policy, you
Mhm.
could have gave an idea of a
Mhm.
policy.
Yeah. Yeah, and Trump did not he did not even talk about, like, a vision of a policy, right?
Mhm,
Only thing he just kept doing was talking about immigrants and the immigrants and the immigrants and the immigrants and the immigrants. And again, you know what I mean? And you know what's so fascinating about Trump talking about Springfield, Ohio, you know, putting that out there, you know what I'm saying? It is a racist, lie, right?
mhm,
Even when he was told, like, hey, we've contacted people on the ground and they said that's not happening. And he's like, no, it's not true. There's videos, stuff like that. You know what I mean? That we are in a time period where a presidential candidate puts out a blatantly racist, you know what I mean? Or blatantly racist point.
mhm.
And nobody's like calling it that. You know what I mean? Like everybody is, of course, all the memes and the jokes and things of that nature, but like a presidential candidate that has attacked woke, attacked CRT, attacked LGBTQ people. Put again another conspiracy theory he put out there was about having an abortion or killing babies after
Mhm,
they're born. Like
mhm.
that doesn't have it's illegal
Yeah,
in this country to do that in all 50 states.
it's called murder. Yeah, like, and put the
Right.
M on it. Like, that's
Yeah.
what it's called.
Yeah. Right.
And it's ridiculous that people want to literally have a conversation
Yeah.
with that being the actual point. I'm just like, no, technically it's no debate once you get to that point. If that's your argument or your discussion is about, Democrats want to, hurt or harm babies and all of this old nonsense after birth, like, you have lost the argument
Right.
because, again, taking something out of context because Trump is not a doctor
Mhm.
from a actual OBGYN, who, I can't remember the gentleman's name, but he's a senator.
Mm.
Um, but he gave the statement explaining that this this procedure that happens 1% of the time, less than 1% of the time, where the fetus is just not viable.
Mhm.
They either, can't survive on their own by breathing, or they have like really bad deformities and
Mhm.
so forth. And it's just like, yeah, like forcing a a a human or even a baby to live through that
Mm,
when they literally don't have concept of life
right. Right, right, right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
is the worst thing that you can do to a person is to put them in a situation that life is hard for them
Mhm.
and is difficult. But again, this has always been the Republican Party.
Yeah.
Whether it's housing, whether it's funding for school, they always want to implement hardship.
Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Make it hard, make life hard, and then it's not even a survival of the fittest mentality because they really truly want right. They trick working class people to vote for them. And what do the working class people get out of voting for Republicans? Right? They get low wages, they get
Mhm,
poor health care, they get unfunded schools. Right?
mhm.
Here in South Carolina, we had the South Carolina Supreme Court, right? What's South Carolina Supreme Court?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, 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 that turned down, Governor McMaster of South Carolina. Shot down his voucher program. You know what I'm saying? Same kind of voucher program that started a lot of these charter and private schools from the civil rights era, but shot it down because they said it was unconstitutional, which it is. You
Yeah.
can't take public dollars and give it to people, so that and give it to and so that they can use it for a private institution. That was really all their argument. You know what I'm saying? That is just unconstitutional. You're not in the
And they're
Constitution.
mostly conservative judges.
Yeah. Now, here's the issue is that because South Carolina is a trifecta, state, guess what they can do? They can rewrite the state's constitution so that now they can do that. And I see that that's what they're gonna do. But I don't think they have enough votes. I don't think they have enough votes in the House to make that
Oh,
change.
no,
Yeah.
because, the same problem we have in nationally is the
Mhm.
same problem South Carolina is having down the ballot.
Mhm.
Um, conservative, really, really conservative members are struggling right now. One, to raise money. Two,
Mm.
they are struggling because they may not get voted back in. Nancy Mace, like people like they may not get voted back in
Yeah.
because even conservative people in South Carolina have had enough,
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know. And again, it's not enough like if you were and it's in quotations a leftist because leftists we've been had enough. Enough
Mhm.
is enough. But for conservative, they're just now starting to have
Mhm.
enough because they're starting to see the Republican Party as people that just want to rule over people.
Right, 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 right. Right. That part that's lost it. Yeah, and I was listening to Benjamin Dixon. He made that point where, like they like we've been dealing with a decade of Trumpism, right? A decade of MAGA. You know what I mean? They lasted longer than the Tea Party. Really, the Tea Party just morphed into MAGA. But like so so the news media and the politicians have finally almost a decade later gotten they're just tired of it. You know what I mean? And so I think the Republicans are making a calculation like, hey, look, we can lose these next 4 years. Let's rebrand the party, redo the party because now they're actually losing the conservatives who might go and be forever Democrats, right? You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's just like the Democrats during the Reagan era. Reagan Democrats that voted for Ronald Reagan and they just stayed Republicans. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
um and so that they are like seeing the same thing happening, you know what I'm saying? Having all these people saying that, oh, Kamala Harris made that during the debate, you know what I'm saying? Saying 200, hey, I got 200 Republicans, prominent Republicans who say that they're not voting for you, they're gonna vote for me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I got Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney and all these other individuals. You know what I'm saying? Um, and the reaction to this last debate by the right wing media, shows that, hey, like, Trump might have lost the election. You know what I'm saying? Because his numbers is capped. So now they're worried about people just not voting at all. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah.
Mm, that's it.
And again, we talked about this on a few podcasts back,
Mhm,
where if you look at going back to through the midterms and since the 2016 election,
mhm,
there has been less and less Republicans voting
mhm.
and more Democrats voting. So this is what people don't understand. And again, this is the civics lesson that people have to understand. If you don't believe in the big party switch, this is how it happened.
Mm,
Like
yeah,
it's just one of those things. Like, man, history always repeats itself. It just
yeah.
looks a little different, feels a little different.
Right, 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 right. Yeah, it just looks different. Yeah, yeah. It just yeah. eh, and again, it's just fast. You're gonna have people who. Well, here's the other thing that fascinates me too, is that is that you have people. You have these Christians, right? They will they will beat you over the head with morality, right? Hey, don't lie. They'll tell their kids, don't lie. You know,
Mhm.
don't tell a lie. You know what I mean? But they will turn around and go vote for a liar,
Yep.
right? So let's not kid ourselves. You're not making a moral. When you go vote, you're not voting based on your morals. You know what I'm saying? Yet that's their argument, right? The argument is I'm voting for my morals. You know what I'm saying? You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Like, I was listening to conservative radio this week, and this lady calls in. You know what I'm saying? And she just said, Trump, God delivered Trump. That's why I'm going to vote for him. Blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? She didn't sound like she was that old. You know what I mean? She sounded like
Mhm.
maybe she was like in her 60s or so. You know?
Mhm.
Dang. You know what I'm saying? Like, this man's a liar, like a malignant liar.
Yeah.
He just lies, man. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing, though. You only know he's a liar if you know the truth, right?
Yes.
Right. And so what is happening in our society is that there are way too many people who don't know the truth, right? So they are being fooled, right? And of course you add social media into that. So now politics is becoming entertainment. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
And they not understand politics is life or death. That's what Kamala Harris was saying. Like within context, that's what she's saying. Like, look, we got to help families get housing. We got to expand Obamacare. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? Things of that nature.
Gotta help the small businesses.
Help the small businesses, right? Defending Ukraine from Russia. All these things are life and death, man. This
Mhm.
life and death is not about entertainment. So, it is. You know, people really need to know the truth. You know what I mean? Like, learn the truth. You know what I mean?
Right, right. Because what you explaining, like, life and death is the the tariffs that Trump put on China and other countries, right? That we were getting, whether it was poultry or or those kind of things, then affected the farms here in America, which then filed bankruptcy for the first time in American history in 50 years. We
Mm-hmm.
have we haven't had that kind of foreclosure. I mean, not foreclosure, bankruptcies in the
Mm-hmm.
farming industry.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened was they then got consolidated by bigger companies.
Bigger company, bigger
Well,
farms.
what are you starting to see in the grocery store? Well, you got um, you got meat that's being affected right
Yep.
now, killed Americans. You had vegetables being affected, killing Americans. And again, that's why it's life and death on who you choose. And if they don't understand either the policies or how to form the policies or even how the industry operates,
Right.
they should not be in any place of power.
Mm.
We
Yeah.
have to get away from the mediocrity of people assuming, oh, I don't think Kamala Harris is qualified, but yet you were flipping either burgers or you were like, it doesn't make any sense
It makes
for
no
you
sense.
to even make that judgment when you don't have the degrees, you
Mm.
don't understand the field, you let alone don't even understand how to even our government work.
Mm.
So to say she's not qualified, you
Yeah.
people aren't qualified to even make the opinion.
Yeah. Yeah. I've seen the people who don't even invest their money talking about capital gains tax. Man, come on, man. You ain't even making it. You don't even understand the amount of money you got to make in order
Uh,
for you to be worried about capital gains
yeah,
tax.
yeah.
Like you got to be up there. Like
Uh,
look, bro, your little 70,000 that you got invested in your in your thing.
bro,
Ain't nobody worried about that, man. Your little 100,000, nobody worried about that, man. Come on,
uh,
dog. Come on, man.
I had to talk to a gentleman, man, and he come to me. He's like, "Man, I got a question." He said, I know you in the politics." He was like, I, I'm scared, of Kamala Harris, and I'm going to say that."
Mm,
And he was just like, I felt like we did so much better under Trump, and he kind of went down that road and so forth. He was just like, but Kamala Harris talking about giving $25,000 to people to buy homes. He's laying all of this stuff out, right? So he hears what she's saying,
mhm.
and then he turns and say, "But I'm gonna have to pay more taxes because I made too much money." And I sat back and looked at it and was like, "I'm not trying to be in your business, but how much money you make?" And we at the same place. Put it like that. We at the same place. So I'm sitting here like, man, do
Bro.
you know that you got to make $100 million?
Yeah, man. You ain't
He was like, "Oh, I didn't know that." I said, "Yeah, because Trump keeps saying that
yeah.
you're going to be affected by it. Stop listening to him."
Stop listening to that man. He's just a liar. Stop listening
I
to him,
said,
man.
"Go read the bill yourself." I said,
Yeah,
"Do
man.
not listen to him. Go read the bill." He said, "Man, I'm glad I talk to you, man, because I normally don't read the bill." I
Nobody
said, "This is
does.
the problem."
That's the problem. They make it public. Nobody
Yeah,
reads.
it's just
They
like,
they make the platform. They put everything public. The president's the budget,
yeah,
all that stuff's
yeah.
public. Nobody go reads it, and then but
Nobody knows.
everybody makes an opinion about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know what I mean, about stuff they just don't know. And it's crazy because when I hear people talking about, oh, my taxes are gonna go up, like your taxes went up under Trump. Like, do you know tariffs are a tax, right? Because Trump lied. Say China paid the tariffs. No, they didn't. China raised the prices,
yeah.
and so that Americans paid the
Yeah.
tariffs. The reason why our cars went up, or brand new cars or brand new motorcycles went up, because
Mhm.
Trump put a tariff on steel,
Yep.
on certain
That's
steel and
why
metals, and
Harley
things.
Davidson left.
That's why Harley Davidson got up out of here. You know what I'm saying? Like the man, and he can lie because he knows his side. They're not going to search for the truth,
Mm-mm.
so he can just lie, 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 lie. You know what I'm saying? And his side can't challenge him on the truth. They just can't. And they, you know.
And you know what a big tell was during the debate, that he was he he understands that he's lying.
Mhm.
I was I think it was like 15, 20 minutes in, and he already told like a couple lies, right?
Mhm.
But then I started kind of paying attention, like, man, do he know that he lying?
Mhm.
And so every time that he said something that was outrageous, like it wasn't even a small lie, it was just outrageous, right? When he said, he turned when Kamala Harris was talking, the camera was on him, and he gave this smirk
Mhm.
as she was calling him out. And
Mhm.
this was the fourth time that I watched him with this smirk on his face when he was called out. I said, "Oh yeah, he outright knows he's lying.
Mhm.
He outright knows that he's lying. When he's in a moment where he can't talk his way out of it, his facial expressions give it away."
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, he's, I'm just at the point, like, watching that debate again, and I'll say it again, watching it's like watching the debate with Biden, you know what I'm saying? Again, Trump lied so much, but everybody was so concerned about, how Biden looked.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So again, he's like, "Pff, there was no accountability for his lies.
Yep.
No, zero accountability. That was the main takeaway from the first debate, that he lied. And now here we are in the second debate, and everybody's like, "Pff, he lied." I mean, he lied the first time. What are we talking
Right.
about?
Right.
He lied
And
in 2016. I mean,
yeah. Yeah.
all he does is lie.
Yep.
like,
Yep.
and it ain't even.
And it's what watered down Joe Biden actually talking about policy,
Yeah.
right? It watered it down, and like this isn't like trying to make excuses for Joe Biden, because was did he say it with energy? Like, yeah, he was lacking energy.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like the way that he was responding, it was too his tone was too low.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, yeah. Mhm.
that's just what it was. And any time that you speak like that, it doesn't matter on if you tell the truth.
Mhm.
Nobody's gonna believe somebody that's talking in a soft tone.
Mhm.
They
Yeah.
only believe it when you talk like you mean it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, but again, you know what I mean, like, the substance of what Trump was saying should have been the conversation.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, yes, we can have the conversation about Biden being, how he was talking, and, his demeanor and
Mhm.
things of that nature, but we can also have the conversation about Trump being a liar.
Yep.
And that was, the main takeaway from the first debate. And that's why I always say that, you know what I mean? I don't understand how anybody can lose against a liar.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I was and Kamala, one of the things that she did that Biden didn't do was, when she wasn't talking, she gave facial expressions. You know what I mean? Like you said,
Yep.
gave facial expressions, especially and Trump, he did not look at her at one at any
No.
point.
He wasn't
At
even gonna shake her hand.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, man. What Kamala did was masterful. Now we just gotta, like, and I think that Kamala Harris and Democrats know that, hey, they have enough votes, right?
Mhm.
But they need more,
Mhm.
because they have to make sure that it can't be pulled into question,
Yep.
right? Because Trump and the Republicans have set up a system to where, if the election is close, they already have the mechanisms in place, you know what I mean, to give it to Trump, you know, even if he loses numerically.
There's there's 290 something, um, what are they called?
You're talking about like electors?
Yeah,
Mm.
electors for the election that are, um, basically voter denial. So,
Mhm.
like, across the nation,
Yeah.
they
And
all
you,
hold office right now.
and you got the Supreme Court.
And then
I mean,
yes,
you got the
you
Supreme
got
Court that
Supreme
basically
Court.
said that Trump could do anything that he wants to. It's
Yeah.
like,
So it
yo.
does not even stop there. Like,
Mhm.
they got people on the state level and so on, like, literally in place that
You already got states that are purging voters right now.
yeah, 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 Texas started last month.
It's tough.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
yeah. 250 in a week.
Mm. Yeah,
Like people got to understand because I remember when Georgia did that right before the election in 2016.
yeah. They doing it again.
500,000 people,
Hmm. And there's
and
no
all
mechanism.
all all in black areas.
Yeah, there's no mechanism to hold them accountable. Man. No,
Nope.
no mechanism. I mean, yeah, you can try to take them to court, but
Yeah.
and this is what I try to tell people all the time. You know what I'm saying? Especially black folk. You know what I'm saying? Who you know, there- and again, there's there's black people who think that they are doing something. They think that they are, being an outlier, right? I'm not going to vote. You know what I mean? Like I told one dude, at the barbershop, you know what I mean? Like, saying, we're going to vote. I'm like, okay. I'm sorry, not at the barbershop. I was at the, I was at on base. I was
Mhm.
on base. And he's like, yeah, man, I'm not going to vote. I don't see what the point of voting is, blah, 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 blah. I said, okay. I'm like, there's 100 million people every 4 years who don't vote. I'm like, you'll just be one of them. And they got this look like, really? There's 100 million people? I thought I was the only one. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are people who don't realize there are 100 million people who do not vote every
Because
4 years.
there's something that's happening in the black community. It already happened in the white community, whatever. But I think that was unintentional. But I
Mhm.
think the intentional act in the black community and in the Latino community, I I I, I think they are trying to be contrarians
Right.
for the
Mhm.
sake of being contrarian.
For the sake of being contrarian. Yeah, they have no rhyme or reason why they're contrarian.
Yeah,
Why
yeah,
would
it's no logic. I'm just gonna
it
disagree
really is
because
no logic.
yeah, I'm
There's
gonna
no logic.
disagree because I feel like that makes me different from the group.
Right, exactly.
And it's
Exactly.
just like, yeah, but do you understand how politics work? Like
Right.
it is a group activity. So the things that you literally criticize the black people, your group on, the group that you are willing to support, don't support to help them.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I had a conversation with a young lady, and she said she wasn't going to vote, and I said, "Okay." She said she wasn't going to vote because she's from West Virginia, and her vote, of course, Joe Manchin, right? Uh, yeah, and some about Bernie Sanders or something like that, blah 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 blah, blah, you know, um, and I said, okay, if you're not going to vote for yourself, well, vote for other people.
Mhm.
Right? Like, it is about other people, like, you know what I mean? Like, I vote for my kids, and I vote for people, for people who don't make as much money as me, right? Who
Yeah, yeah.
don't have, who's on minimum wage, and
Mhm.
families who need help, and yeah, building look, we should have started building homes. I know Vice President Kamala Harris is talking about building home. We should have did this 10 years ago, right? When we started noticing that the
25.
boomers when they started noticing that the boomers are recognizing that the boomers are living longer. So they're living longer, they're staying in the homes, they're not passing the homes down, or nobody's buying the homes or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, there's no inventory. And you combine that with the high price of post, school, post high school schools and training post high school. You know what I'm saying? The low and stagnant wages. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
You get a president in there like Trump, whose main focus is trickling up wealth. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And like, yeah, this is the problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you can
Mhm.
add on builders, the national builders also building 1.1.5 million homes a
Mhm.
year, which is 2 million homes under the standard of what we need per year
Yeah,
to
per
keep up
year.
with the growth
Right. We should have
that we
been
were having
homes. Yeah, we should have been building homes. I say that all
because
the time.
they get to make more money when they do that.
Yeah. I say that all the time, man. Like, like the state. everybody complain about the home pricing, and Vice President Kamala Harris talked about that too, right?
Mhm.
Home prices, right? Bringing home prices down. Well, how do you do that? Well, you, as the federal government and or the state government, you go in and you become a builder. You become a
Mhm.
contractor builder because you'll be able to build homes at a cheaper price, and it will drive down the prices of those homes that's around it.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like
You
that's
saturate the market.
yeah, yeah. I'm like, look, man, I ain't got a degree in economics, but I know 1 + 1 = 2. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that's what you have to do. And so, it's those things that again, Trump is not talking about none of that. He's talking about me, 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 me. I'm aggrieved. I'm the one that's harmed. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And and people that follow Trump, they're like, "Oh, the dear leader is harmed."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They don't expect nothing to come out of a Trump presidency. Nothing. They're not asking for nothing. They're not demanding anything. Well, they are demanding something. They're demanding, that people that they don't like, you know what I mean, be
Yeah,
punished.
because again, it gives them power to just complain.
Mhm.
And they don't realize the cycle of being stuck in just complaining.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like when someone offers to fix something, you rather sit there and become a
And
victim.
and complain. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and just complain.
Mhm.
And this is what Trump has done to people.
Yeah. And I often
No
think like
solution.
Yeah, and I often think like sometimes like people they make the quick calculation that, oh man, somebody else is going to benefit.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Somebody else who don't look like me is going to benefit.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
they make that quick calculation. Yeah, man.
yeah, yeah. And it's the same argument I talk to a lot of these right wing people. I was just like, look, man, you for me, I rather help pay more taxes so I can fund college
Hmm.
so my neighbor kids can go to college or kids in the neighborhood can go to college. I said, because I'm getting older, and at the end of the day, if they don't have any money, they might want to snatch the dishes out my kitchen.
Yeah, yeah,
You
for
know what I'm
real.
saying? Like, no, I want them to be able to go to school so I don't have to worry about them snatching the dishes out my kitchen.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If you
people
don't understand where that reference came from, you
and
know.
yeah, the and people don't understand that like part of the reason why crime is dropping is because there are more jobs.
Yes.
People are making more money. That's why
Yep.
crime is dropping in America. You know what I'm saying? Again, the conspiracy theory Trump put
Yeah.
out there, you know what I mean, about there's high crime everywhere. It's crime. No, it's not. Come on, man. FBI. Listen, the FBI has no reason to. I mean, really, honestly, they have no reason to lie. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
they
not
lie?
about that.
Do they lie?
Yeah.
Yes, but when it comes to crime, they don't because they're gonna get funded. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They
Yep.
have to report crime. You know what I'm saying? So, so they're not gonna fudge that too much. You know what I'm saying? Oh,
No, no,
yeah.
because if crime goes away, they don't they don't exist.
Yeah, yeah,
So, they gotta go find it. Um,
yeah.
but it's insane, at this point. I knew the debate was over when he said Kamala Harris was just Joe Biden, and, uh, and on the paper that they have for a policy, it was only 3 words on there that run run cat run or some old
Run, spot
run
run or
spot run.
something.
I'm like, "Yeah, it's over, man. It's over." It's
Yeah.
I at that point, I can't see how anybody that think that they're a free thinker,
Right,
as they
right.
say, did not say,
People crazy.
"Man, this guy can't be president because
Yeah.
that shit was dumb."
Yeah, that was dumb, man. Dumb. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to read this thing, man, real quick. So I'm gonna read this. There's a letter that was written. Um, It says, "Dear friend, are you sick and tired, as I am, of liberal politicians who force children to be bussed, appoint judges who turn murderers and rapists loose on the public, force your children to study from school books that are anti-God, anti-American, and filled with the most vulgar curse words, give your tax money to communists and anarchists and other radical organizations, do nothing about sex, adultery, and homosexuality and foul language on television? Are you tired of feeling no power to change things? If so, why don't you join the conservative caucus?" That was written in 1974.
Wow.
Does that sound too different than 2024?
No, it's the same language that they're sitting here spewing.
Same, same language, same playbook,
Yeah. Well,
same language,
I
same
guess
play.
they're true to the nature. They're conserving.
Yeah, 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 for real. Yeah,
They're
for real.
conserving. They're conserving their brain. Conserving.
Man, and that's from a great book. This great book called Reagan Land, man. People should read it. It is fascinating because it shows how, like you were saying, how, the party switched. You know what I'm saying? How some Democrats did leave and go to the Republican Party based on those things, right? Being part of it was anti-government because of the Civil Rights Act. Once the Civil Rights Act happened, you had a bunch of mainly white folks
Mhm.
who become anti-government. They become they were anti-homosexuality, school. The busing issue was about black kids going to school with white kids. You know what I'm saying? Today that's morphed into CRT woke, you know what I mean? Anti-CRT, anti-woke, you know what I mean? Stuff. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, man, it's a great book. It's big though. It's like it's John it's John big. I gotta pace myself with reading it, but because it's a lot of information, but it most definitely shows how there are certain figures who move the needle. You know what I'm saying? And to make the Republican Party what it is today. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? A bunch of fanatics, a bunch of crazies. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? A bunch of crazy people who want to who excuse me, who are anti-government,
Yeah.
but they're okay with using the government when they have the power for to oppress and suppress other groups of people.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a great book, man.
Yeah.
Great.
Because under Bush, his administration opened the door a little bit more
Mm,
for type of people, the
mhm.
fringe group, and then
Right.
that very fringe group came after him. Like, and I'm talking about son Bush.
Mhm.
Um, and
Oh yeah,
he,
yeah.
yeah, like,
When he tried to change to compassionate conservatives.
yep,
We're gonna be
yep,
compassionate conservatives. You know what
yes,
I
and
mean?
they came after him.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
Yep.
after he opened the door to to man, I gotta call them the crazies.
Yeah, the crazy. That's
Yeah, yeah. It's like if David Koresh was alive today, he would be a Republican.
he'd be a Republican. Yeah,
Yes.
he'd be a Republican. Yeah, no
And
doubt.
people don't understand that connection.
Mm-mm. Yeah. Nah, because they think that they think that Republican ideology, right? The idea, right?
Mhm.
Ideology is, their neighbor. You know what I mean? Like, oh, he's a good, wholesome person. You know what I mean? Yeah, they don't necessarily connect the that, what drives their neighbor to be a Republican
Mhm.
is all of the anti this, that, and the third
Mhm.
rhetoric. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? They're like, "Ah, he's a good guy. We talk all the time and blah, 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 blah." You know what I mean? He can't be that bad. So the Republican Party can't be that bad. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah. Because there's another connection, right? The other
mhm,
connection is assuming that them being a Republican on the ground level is the same as being a Republican business owner.
right. Yeah. Hmm.
You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Like, when I hear people like Ice Cube or um, man, just Lil Wayne, all of
Mhm,
these people,
mhm.
just because they're black, I don't assume that they understand the position that I am in
Right.
when I go to work every day.
Right, yeah, exactly. And nor do they care, right?
Nor do they care.
Nor do they care,
I
right?
understand immediately that we're in a different tax bracket, so the way that he perceives life
Mhm.
is different.
It's
What he
different.
what he experienced, yes, Lil Wayne probably don't see no racism because at the end of the day, he has money.
Yep.
So all he see is the praise of people of different cultures because in exchange they're asking for him to dance,
Yeah.
to
Mhm.
tap dance for him.
And
And
he's
he's
welcome.
okay with tap dancing
Mhm.
as long as he got the money.
Yeah. He ain't
I
gonna be
can't
tapped dancing
afford to
at the
do either or. I either have to choose to stand on some kind of principle because it's abuse that's attached to it,
Mhm.
or I have to sit back and say, you know what? Um, at the end of the day, I'm removing myself or with a job or whatever
Mhm, mhm, mhm.
because it's too much abuse.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Lil Wayne ain't gonna be tap dancing at the Super Bowl either.
Everybody mad at Jay Z.
Yeah, and here's my thing, man. Look, I don't want to see a drugged out Lil Wayne on Super Bowl at halftime. I just don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying? But my other issue is this: is that okay? You didn't get Lil Wayne. Okay, what happened to Master P? Juvenile.
Yeah,
I mean, the Big Frida. You have a whole bounce music
yeah,
scene. That's like the Super Bowl being in DC, and you not have no go go.
yeah. It's
That
crazy.
won't make no sense.
But but in all fairness, after like looking around,
Mhm,
so New Orleans must have had like some public poll thing in New
mhm.
Orleans to ask like who do they want to see at the Super Bowl? They chose Kendrick Lamar.
They've never listened to Kendrick Lamar because what do you think Kendrick Lamar? You think he gonna do "They Not Like Us" for 15, 20 minutes? Like
Uh, bro,
you haven't heard "Damn," you haven't heard "Good Kid, Mad City." You like what what y'all think Kendrick Lamar gonna play? Mr. Morale and the Big Stepper, which was a dope album that nobody bought, nobody listened to.
so
Listen.
they chose Kendrick Lamar.
Gee, man, I get it, but you ain't gonna get They Not Like Us. You gonna get Beyonce Super Bowl when everybody was like, "Oh my god, Beyonce's black." That's what you finna get. That's what you're getting ready to get, and I don't
Well,
think they thought it through. Nothing wrong with Kendrick. I'm okay with Kendrick being a Super Bowl, but I think that the people making that decision is making it off of what's happening now. They not like us. You know what I mean?
well. I think that perception is that it was leadership that was making this the decisions of of the whole event, but that's not what happened.
Mhm.
It was actual people in Louisiana making the decision because it was some kind of poll or some sort.
Bowl or something.
Yeah,
But Jay-Z being in charge of it, Jay-Z should have been like, "Hey, okay, we don't do Lil Wayne, but y'all got other artists here." I don't know if that conversation happened. I don't know if
well,
that conversation.
apparently he stepped back and let them make the decision.
That's crazy. That's
So
crazy. I think it's still. I just think it's crazy. You got no Master P. You got no Master P. You got Juvenile. One of the biggest songs.
yeah, yeah,
One of the biggest songs ever. Not just rap songs. Songs. And you don't even do Juvenile. Slow motion for me. Slow
yeah,
motion. Back that ass. Oh
yeah.
my god. I'm like, oh my god.
Hey man,
You got a whole bounce scene that you play. You know what I'm saying? You ain't even gonna do any. You ain't even gonna introduce the world of Zydeco music? N
I look, I hope it's a twist.
It's crazy.
I hope it's a twist
I hope
because when they said Kendrick Lamar, I like Kendrick, but I was just like, ah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. But
and
I can see
and it's no diss to him. It's just the fact of like I need to see more.
mm,
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like like I understand he's a new artist and stuff like that, but the catalog,
mm.
the
But
catalog.
that's my thing. He's not a new artist. Kendrick's
No,
not new.
I'm not saying I'm talking about
Yeah,
new to the world. I'm talking about new to the stage that he is on.
yeah, that's my, like that's my, like yeah, yeah. He, yeah, because Kendrick got a catalog. Kendrick got a
Yeah,
catalog. Kendrick has like I said, Mr. Morale and Big Stepper is a dope album. I had that joint. I played that joint forever. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Nobody bought it because there wasn't a song on there like They Not Like Us. You know what I'm
Mhm,
saying?
mhm.
It's basically Kendrick,
It
Mr.
was real
Morale.
hip hop.
Yeah, it was real hip hop, and Mr. Morale, Big Stepper is Kendrick Lamar just making songs about him dealing with his mental health. Really, that's really
Mhm.
you know what I'm saying, and dealing with everything connected to it. You know what I mean? All the issues and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody bought that jump. You know
Because
what
it's
I
going to man, the Super Bowl might turn out to be like the weekend's Super Bowl. No, nobody knew that song that he was singing. No,
mean?
nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
That was a terrible Super Bowl choice too. But
Yeah.
but it's like my thing is if the Super Bowl is in Detroit, who you think gonna play in the Super Bowl?
Man,
Who's gonna
M,
do halftime?
M.
That's what I'm saying. Why? Because he's
Yeah.
Detroit.
Yeah.
Th-
And he definitely gonna bring up Reese by 9.
Of course, he gonna bring out Royce. He gonna bring up the
Royce.
rest of. He gonna bring up the rest of D12. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And whoever else is popular in Detroit, he gonna do that. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I was like, man, like I get it. Like I understand, not Lil Wayne's choice, but man, y'all got artists from that city. I can understand. Hey, and nobody want to listen to NBA Young Boy. Nobody want to listen to that trash. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nobody want to listen to that man mumble. You know what I mean? 15 minutes. Nobody is trash. You know what I mean? And nobody wants to. But you got
For
artists,
real,
man.
for real.
Mhm.
Webby probably got the biggest white fan base down in Louisiana.
Well, I mean, you got Webby, you got
I
uh
I swear to
Boosie,
goodness, man, I hear white people
Boosie from
listening to Webby all the time.
I mean, you do got Webby. Boosie's from
Yeah,
Louisiana too, right?
yeah, yeah,
I mean, you got art. They had artists, man.
yeah.
It's crazy. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's crazy to shun the local artists that way. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Especially since majority of people, particularly they our age, they've grown up listening to rap music. No matter what your ethnic or racial background is, you've grown up like listening to rap music.
yeah.
They've listened to Boosie, they listen to Master P, they've listened to, you know what I
Mhm,
mean? They would know
mhm.
those songs, you know what I mean? And
Yeah,
probably some old crusty dusty boomer or older Gen Xer that'd be like, what is this song? You know what I mean? You know?
yeah. But honestly, man, I think they made it off of like the whole generation thing, the
Oh yeah,
popularity
yeah, yeah. It's
as
the
of right
popular.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like Janet Jackson, Justin Timberlake. You know what I'm saying? Look, I get it. I totally get it. Beyonce, I get it. I get it. But it's just you had an opportunity and you missed it. You missed it. Especially
yeah,
when the Super Bowl's in LA and you do all LA artists. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
bring out the city with Cali
yeah.
and California. You know what
And
I'm
I think
saying?
it should be that way all the time.
I said, yeah, I thought that was dope. That's what it was going to be. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? From now on, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Nope.
Nope. Which
Yeah.
means you best not go, do the Super Bowl in Texas and
Oh
then
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah. Do
like not have like what I'm saying,
yeah.
Slim Thug
You don't have some yeah, yeah. You
you
don't
know
have UGK.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. That's just
just crazy.
that's just crazy. or even
Because
some of yeah,
even Mexicans listen to UGK down there.
yeah, yeah. What's that one Mexican dude that's out now? I listen to his songs.
Oh, Mexican OT boy.
Yeah, Mexican OT. Like that's you doing a Super Bowl in Houston and you don't
Yeah,
play Mexican OT. Come on, dog.
yeah,
That
yeah.
would
I
be
like OT.
crazy. That would be absolutely
That is-
crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
super.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That'd be
Woo.
crazy. Anyway, man, we said we're supposed to only do 30 minutes. We in here almost an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it in the right way, man. You
Yeah.
know, on a light note, talking
Mhm.
about the Super Bowl and so
Mhm.
forth.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, 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 man. Yeah, man. You got any last words? I'm sorry.
man, just
I'm,
peace to the
I'm
gods, man,
tripping.
and everybody stay focused, man. Stay focused. You black women and men Trump supporter, boy, y'all got us out here looking crazy.
Yeah, real
Y'all
crazy.
got black folk looking crazy.
Crazy. Looking real crazy, man. Yeah, the only thing I have to say is, man, hey, make sure y'all check your phones. You don't go live on Instagram, man, when you're in the bedroom. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Yeah. Shit.
I, I literally
Oh,
that was my
man.
plan when we started uh saying that we was gonna do the podcast today.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it
Mm,
earlier. I was like,
yeah.
man, how can I plug this in? You know,
Yeah.
because I felt like Kamala Harris when she was on the stage
Yeah.
and like Trump tried to walk around the podium, you know, and
Yeah.
then all I heard was, nah, I told you what I was about. Don't run from this. Don't run from this. I was like, yeah, she shade him.
Oh my goodness,
Oh
man.
man.
Oh man. That was so funny, man. So funny, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. All right, man. We're gonna get up out of here.
Peace out.
All right, peace, man.